Hi lovelies, welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about the importance of seeing that any change that we want to go about making, any healing, any having things be different than they are, any transformation requires us to go to the source and not go to the symptom. And so many of our problems, both our personal problems, our interpersonal problems, and our societal and global problems, come from people trying to address things at the symptom level instead of seeing that the source level is where they actually get addressed. And so I'll give you kind of common sense example of this, and then of just something that you're like, yeah, oh, that's so obvious, and then bring it to an issue that we deal with more kind of psychologically, and you'll see how the two are the same. So I went skiing on Tuesday and crashed and hurt my knee, and I kind of know, because of what I understand about the body, I know a few things. One is that pain in the body is telling me, stop, back off, don't do that. So when I go to walk and pain shoots up my leg, that's the body saying, yeah, you don't want to be trying to walk on this leg right now. You don't want to be putting weight on this leg. You don't want to be using this. And here we will give you pain to tell you that, because if you didn't have any pain, then you wouldn't know that you have injured yourself and need to take it easy. So if I was trying to address this at the level of symptoms, then I would look at things like pain and say, oh, it hurts when I walk. Here's what I should do. Take a bunch of pain meds, basically dope myself up and then walk anyway, because if I numb the pain, then I'll be able to walk. Or somebody else might think, oh, well, maybe it's not the really numbing myself up, but I should strengthen it. So I should brace it and put, kind of tight, structures, braces on that leg. And then even though it's weak and in pain, I'll be able to still use it to walk. And all of that is trying to take solutions to the symptom and address it that way. And once you understand that you don't want to be looking at the symptom, that pain is actually a symptom of an underlying cause, that it's not, that I don't want to be looking at, well, how do I either get rid of the pain or push through it anyway, that I want to stop back and say, well, the pain's here for a reason. Because I understand how pain in the physical body works, I know that shooting pain when I put weight on that leg is telling me, don't put weight on that leg. Like, it's so obvious. And so I don't brace it or, numb myself into oblivion and try to walk on it anyway. I just know that this means, okay, guess I'm going to have a fun few days in bed, like doing nothing, not putting any weight on this leg. And because I know that, yes, the symptom is pain, but the cause is injury, and because I understand that left to its own devices, the body will naturally heal, that cuts and, in my case, ligament tears, anything else that happens to the body gets taken care of by the fact that there is an intelligence behind the system that knows how to deal with burns and cuts, knows how to deal with broken bones and torn muscles, knows how to deal with all of it. So when I understand that that's how it works, I don't fight against the system. I don't sit here and be like, well, yeah, it really hurts, but what can I do to tough it out? I realize that the pain is a symptom of the underlying cause of a muscle injury. And I know that a muscle will heal itself if given the proper care. So that basically means me getting out of the way and putting on some pillows and chilling the fuck out and letting the body take care of it. Now, we kind of see this clearly when it comes to the body. A lot of people would say, yeah, that's pretty common sense. But what we don't see is that emotional pain works the same way. So when a painful thing has happened, we often think, well, that's not just going to take care of itself. That requires me thinking about it, or talking about it, or solving it, or, finding a way to make myself not feel it, like numbing myself out, whether that's with drugs, alcohol, a million other things. Like humans have no shortage of things that we use to numb out. But when we don't see what that emotional pain is alerting us to, we attack the symptom. So the symptom is, well, I don't feel good, so I'm going to go drink a bottle of wine. Or I don't feel good, so I'm going to act aggressively towards the person who I think is making me feel this pain. Or I don't feel good, so I'm going to, spend a lot of my energy and attention on the not feeling good and the desire to fix it and change it and make it go away. But all of that is tackling the symptom. All of that is just different ways of me trying to walk on my leg quicker. But when we see that emotional pain is just a sign, it's the same way that physical pain says, you don't want to walk on that. Emotional pain says, you don't want to keep going there. You don't want to keep thinking that and rethinking that. You don't want to keep talking it into being and expressing it. And when I say expressing it, I don't mean that there's never a time and a place to get support about something. But often we tend to think like, oh God, I'm in emotional pain. What the heck do I do? And we just run in circles trying to find a way to cope with it, trying to either find a tool for it, a technique for it, or we find a way to numb it out so we don't feel it, or we try to find a way to, and this is kind of what I meant by expressing it, by like getting to the bottom of it, by like really kind of digging in and analyzing, why do I feel like this? Is it because of my childhood? Is it because of the past? Is it because of this personality trait about me? And we just go into it. And the pain is there to say, hands off and let it heal. The pain is there to basically do the exact same thing that it does in my knee, which is to say, hey, right now, this doesn't need you to do anything with it. It doesn't need you to, brace it and try to walk on it. It doesn't need you to touch it, to mess with it, to do anything, to fix it, to change it. It needs you to just take your hands off and let it do its thing. And what I've seen is that experiences of emotional pain come and go a lot quicker when we have our hands off it. When it's just something that's allowed to come up, make us feel what we feel, make us cry if we cry, make us sad if we're sad, make us ache if we ache, make us anything, and then leave. It doesn't need to be fought against. It doesn't need to be coped with. It doesn't need to be techniqued away. It doesn't need to be numbed out. It doesn't need to be analyzed. It doesn't need to be, expressed and released as if it's this tangible thing that has come and haunted us or afflicted us. It's a moving experience of thought. And as such, it's going to naturally take care of itself. So the same way that I have 100% trust in my physical body to heal kind of everything that I unfortunately throw at it, like whether it's being too clumsy when I put logs on the fire and, burning my hand on the side of the wood stove, whether it's, skiing, not paying attention and crashing, whether it's anything that happens, my body is designed to bounce back and be resilient and deal with it. And our minds have that exact same power. They are also incredibly resilient, built to bounce back, built to clear the slate and go back to being as good as new. And the pain that we feel when we think about things, whether things about us, things about others, things about the world, that pain is meant to say, hey, stop touching it, stop messing with it, stop doing anything with it. Literally take your hands off and let the mind deal with it. Same way that I let the body deal with it. And now, lo and behold, I can actually kind of walk today, whereas I couldn't walk for the last few days. So it's amazing what happens when we get out of the way and let something so much bigger and more powerful and more intelligent and more just grander than us take care of it. Because if we had to be the one healing all our cuts, healing all our muscles, digesting all our food, beating our hearts, breathing our lungs, getting rid of painful memories, having fresh perspectives, getting new thinking, if that was on us, we would do a shit job at it. because humans aren't designed to have that as our job. So pain in both obviously the physical body, which most of us see, and in our mental, emotional experience, which many of us don't see, is a sign to say, hey, hands off and let it be. Hands off and, this will be taken care of for you. Because the more you mess with it, the more you try to do anything with it, the worse you're making it. So pain is a kind of beautiful part of our design that says, hey, stop trying to walk on it. Stop trying to, stop trying to deal with this memory or deal with this situation or deal with this circumstance, and just kind of let it be taken care of for you, because it will be in a much more graceful, much easier, much more kind of perfect way than if I tried to heal my knee, or I tried to heal emotional pain or a painful memory or what looks like an awful situation. Luckily, there's something doing that better than I ever can. And the same is true for you as well. So if you have any questions or comments, I love hearing from you guys. Please leave them below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I put out videos every Friday. And yeah, if you ever want to, if you have a specific question and you're like, I'd really like for her to talk about this in one of the videos, I would love that. So either email me, my email will be in the comments down below, or just, write a comment and say, I'd really love for you to address this, because I get so much inspiration from the people that I talk to every day of what to even talk about in these videos with you and what topics I think need some light shined on them. So I hope you find these helpful, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.